Alright, y'all. What it do? I'm back. First of all, I'm back. Back-to-back episodes. And I'm here for a good time today, not a long time. So don't even expect me to be here for that long. I got to go. I want to talk about a few crazy things because I really feel like within the last 5 years, particularly, that we are in a major time loop. Not even just a time loop, like a different time zone, because a loop is completely different, right? We are in the same loop in this last 5 years, but on a different timeline. And it's so crazy. Like, you watch shows like The Flash, whatever, and it's like almost like all these things have, all these shows have a significant story being historically, based, I guess. I don't know, right? Like a documentary, right? I'm just watching a documentary because I don't know what's going on with the world, but I just talk to you talk to your elders and you talk about how times have gone, right? And now I'm a little bit older now, right? And I think about how much life I have ahead of me. I probably have more life ahead of me. You never know, right? Let's just say I live to I'm 80, 90, whatever. Even 70. I have almost more life ahead of me than I have behind me. You think about the life that you have behind you, right? And you think about how you grew up, and I think about how I grew up and how I used to walk the streets after school and go to my homies' houses when I was in middle school. And I think about this stuff now, and I don't have kids, but if I had kids, you ain't going nowhere. You're going straight home. Matter of fact, I might pick you up because there's so many predators in this world, and I don't know if, social media is playing a pivotal part of, psychology as far as seeing these things, right, become like a norm. Maybe they've always been a norm, but we just didn't grow up in the social media era where you've seen it on your screen all the time, which plays with your mental health and your psychology as well. So for me, it's like I want to know, right? But I think even biblically it talks about like knowing too much, right? Eating from the tree of like knowledge, right? How Adam and Eve did. Now you see the world for what it is. Now you don't live in this place that you would call a simulation of heaven, because now you've been exposed to the truth about the world. And I think that's what, like when they say they were naked and they seen like the truth about what was going on in the world. Instead of being, what do we call kids? Pure, right? Instead of being innocent, it's taking our innocence. And so, as far as social media, I feel like it's like kind of like eating from the tree of life. Is that, I don't even know if you want to call that the tree of knowledge, not the tree of life. Eating from the tree of knowledge, right? The forbidden tree of knowledge. So for me, I feel like I have a great duty, right? A great gift to give my knowledge, right, to people so that they are aware of what's going on. Because I think that in this world that we live in, it is more harmful, right, to be oblivious to what's going on. Because people have horrible intentions. I don't know what's going on in society, but a lot of people have horrible intentions. My mom be like, "You're too nice sometimes." Like, excuse me. I could be nice, but I ain't no fool. Like I said, fool me once, shame on you, but you won't fool me again. Alright? Like they say, fool me twice, shame on me. You won't fool me once, you won't fool me again. So I think for me, it's like when people say, "What would Jesus do?" I think like I always, even people that have a history, because I know a lot of people that have a history of being deceivers, a history of being manipulators. And I know this about you, right? And people tell you, But then some people have to figure it out for themselves, right? But my thing is, I'm always going to have in the front of my mind, not the back of my mind, it's always going to be in the front of my mind, is this a scam? Are you on bullshit? Are you deceiving me? Are you trying to manipulate me? So I think that it's important to understand what and who people are and what's going on in the world so that you don't become a victim, because people weaponize everything. So the things I want to talk about today, you would think that was one. That is one. I think we have to be knowledgeable about the government. Everybody's like, the people on the right is, you guys are conspiracy theorists. The people on the left, you guys are conspiracy theorists. So everybody's having the same argument and nobody's seeing the truth. I'm not on the left or the right. I am my own individual. And I think people need to be their own individual, use their brains, and not be tied to one party or allies with one party or the other party, right? You need to be not only for your best interest. For me, I don't vote for my best interest. I vote for the best interest of my people, because at the end of the world, at the end of the day, I have to what is the word that I'm looking for? I'm in a society where I have to amalgamate with you guys, right? I have to be in this mixed society with you guys. So I want you to be on I want you to live your best life, right? So that I can live my best life. I don't live around amongst the 1%, right? So I ain't fucking worried about them. They got all that they need, right? And they still don't think it's enough, right? I need to worry about the people who are in my everyday space. And if y'all not good, that means I'm probably not going to be good, because I got to worry about what y'all going to do, right? And I don't think that people vote for that. I think people vote like they are the 1%, right? And I think that forever I've been one of those people that's like, I'm not into politics. Fuck politics. I'm not voting, because I've only not voted once, right? I think I've only not voted once since I've been able to vote. But understanding that politics is important, and regardless if you think that it works or doesn't work, I'm going to vote. I'm going to show up. I'm going to understand politics, because I used to be like, this shit boring, right? But it's really not that boring. Every day we're living in a political society today in 2025, 2024, 2026, 2016, okay? And it's important to understand what we're voting for. And every day I run my own CIA operations, right? So what I mean by that is I study people on a daily. I'm in the comments, looking at the comments, seeing what y'all talking about. I watch Dean Withers, Parker, whatever, this person, that person, of all walks of life, right? And in my country, I listen to stuff that's not even in my country, but in my country I have to be focused on that. And I listen to people argue in particular about this Trump regime, right? And I'm like, always looking for somebody to say something that is intellectual. And the argument is never intellectual. I think I've probably said this already before. It's always the border, tariffs, and now it's just become, and let's even go deeper. Now it's just like you guys like push the goalposts like further and further back, right? Because at first it was when it came to the Epsteins, yeah, we want to see the Epstein files. Now it's like they're redacted, but we don't care that it's redacted because he wanted it to be released, but he really did not want it to be released, right? And we all know that because he said it was a hoax, right? He said he was for it, then he said it was a hoax, and then Project 2025, he didn't know nothing about it, but now we're seeing Project 2025 play out, and it's like, you guys still are not waking up, and you guys are still saying that the left are conspiracy theorists, or these people are conspiracy theorists, right? And I'm not on the left or the right, but I'm for cognitive functioning, right? You guys are practicing cognitive dissonance, right? Not consonance. And it's like, you guys don't really understand. Some of you do understand that you're being played. Some of you don't care because you don't like accountability. I've said this before too. People are running from accountability. So even if being accountable is hurting you, right? Financially, psychologically, physically, it's hurting you. You guys still don't want to be accountable and say, I fucked up. I voted for the wrong person. I backed the wrong person, right? Project 2025 is playing out. I haven't seen you guys acknowledge that the shit that y'all voted for and y'all said wasn't going to happen is happening, right? Or even deeper, right? Let's talk about sexual assault, right? You guys are like, well, was it against women or minors? Like, it only matters if sexual assault is against women. Like, it's okay that people are sexually assaulting women. Then they'll say it was minors too. And then people will say, how old were the minors? What? I heard a man say, even if the minor was, if it was legal for the minor, if it was legality. So now we're basing morality on legality. Right? When people who pass laws don't have to technically have a moral law. They don't have to live on a moral law. They just passing a law. So if they say it's 13, I heard a man say, if it's 15 and such in Vegas or something. I don't even know what it, 15 or 16 in Vegas. So I travel to Vegas so I can go seek out minors. Because it's not legal in my state. Right? And if it were 13 or 12, then I'd be for that. What? So now what I'm learning is that, and it's always men, sorry, it's always you guys, that you guys don't have a moral law. You guys think that you guys are superior in whatever way, but you came out of a womb, came out your mama's whole shebang, but you think that you're superior. There's no way. Mother Earth. Most of the countries are named after women. Earth is named after mother. But you think that you're superior. But then, even if you think that you're superior, you should be superiorly, I'm just making up a word, protecting women, right? You should use your superiority to protect the very thing, the very species, the very people that birthed you. Some of you have daughters. It's a damn shame, honestly. And you need to, I don't know if y'all be rage baiting or what. Even rage baiting is like a sense of low morality to me. Because you will do anything for attention. Because you're bored. Or you have no self-worth. So you don't hold yourself to a higher standard like a king or a queen, the king or the queen that you are. And you want to stand on principle. You don't have a principle. Because you're low morale, low vibrating. Human being. Savage. Alright? Which goes to, and I think I talked about my thoughts on eugenics. Some of you guys really don't deserve to be here. I'm going to be honest with you. So when we talk about Bill Gates, and I can't stand Bill Gates, and I'll say this over and over and over again. Anything that he says, I don't care if it's propaganda, I'm posting it because I know what that is. And you guys are now seeing, I said this years ago, and you can go back to my earlier episodes when I was talking about him years ago, what type of person he was. And it's all playing out. Every time I see something posted about him, it's about how he's spreading chemicals and how he's trying to depopulate, right? Do I think that there, and I told my auntie this the other day. I said, I think it is too many people on the earth. And this is why I say this. If we lived in a world of high morality and moral laws and righteous people, no, I wouldn't be saying this. But because we live in a low morale, sinister world, I believe that more people means that more people are going to do bad than are going to be good. And then people say, well, that's subjective. Shut the fuck up. I'm so sick and tired of all these terms y'all coming. You know what's good and what's bad. You know what being a good person is and what being a bad person is. If I shoot you for no reason, nobody should say, oh, if this person was a good person or a bad person, it was subjective. Was this person on drugs? Was this person on... Then you guys are coming up with the fucking 35 theories on why it's good, why a person's good, why a person's bad. Shut up. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. So yeah, I think that more people means more destruction. Unfortunately. But I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't see the opposite, right? So, no, Bill Gates, not number one. Bill Gates, no. Then you see what's going on. You know, I'm going to keep saying this. And I know that I have some white people that follow me, and I know that some of you guys have said that you guys are not from America and whatever, right? But I want you guys to think, I don't want it to seem like I'm always picking on you guys, but I have to. I have to. And the thing is, I don't go walk outside and say, you're white, I don't fuck with you. I don't do that. I want that to be known. But what I do see is history. When I say I don't trust you, because I said that in my last episode, and that was about a movie, so I know people are going to see that are just trying to watch a movie review, and they could be like, damn. Alright? But I want you to understand why I don't trust you, because in history is my source. Right? A lot of you guys don't have any source. Right? History is my source. Biblically, that means biblical history is my source. Right? That's a history book. And then all of the history following that we have is my source on why it's hard for me to trust you guys. And then you see people in power, and most of them are what? White men. Most of them are men. So my trust is not just white people, it's men. It's not just white men, it'd be black men, Arab men. But when you go into history and you see the destruction, you see, let's see, Africa, right? Africa is the original land, that's what they say. That's the only thing that I know that they say that they proven, right? And then you see the people who came into Africa to colonize Africa. They were where? They were who? Europeans, Arabs. Okay? So today, when you look at destruction, right? You guys try to... Shoots. You guys try to blame it on the white people try to blame it on the Arabs. When it's both of you guys. Right? Try to make the Arabs the most savage people, and Muslims and Arabs, I don't want to say they don't have nothing to do with each other, but what I will say is don't equate a religion to a people. People are making their own decisions, just like Christianity. White man is Christianity. First of all, Christianity is way further past than white folks. All right? Go to Ethiopia, right? And go look at the depictions of the people who are depicted as the people. And none of them, they might be fair-skinned, but I didn't see white. I didn't see no blonde hair and no blue eyes. I'm going to be honest. And we know that. And that's another thing. I'm going to get off topic real quick. It's not really off topic, it's on topic. Is that you guys will say now, when I talk about pushing the goalposts further, right? You guys will say, you guys went from Jesus was a blonde hair, blue eyed dude, right? Then you guys was like, then now we've debunked that, and you know that that's not facts because you know where he allegedly came from. And then you say, well, he wasn't black. He was from the Middle East. First of all, what the is the Middle East? Second of all, to me, the Middle East is nothing besides East Africa, further East Africa, connected by Egypt. Just a small disconnection from the river, right? So I can travel there via water, or I can travel by land. That's all I see when I see Middle East. I feel like the people that are not the original people are invaders. All right? Alright. That's my seat. I got to go in a minute. That's my alarm going off. I got 15 minutes. Oh, I'm gonna have to come back properly. What was I saying? Oh, so yeah, Jesus. First of all, when I look at the bloodline, I go back to bloodline, and I actually have a chart right here. Let me get it real quick. Jesus Christ, genealogy of Jesus Christ. All right, I really want to find it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Solomon. All right, so we see Solomon right here. That's really all I wanted to get to. Solomon. Jesus comes from the bloodline of David, Solomon, and when you go into the genealogy and you look at where these people are from, Solomon, Ethiopia. Haile Selassie is a descendant of Solomon, right? Haile Selassie looks like Nipsey Hussle, which supposedly Nipsey Hussle is a descendant of Haile Selassie. So, if Jesus was a descendant, or if these people descended from Jesus' bloodline, or Jesus descended from their bloodline, and I see Moses and all these people have a depiction, right? Even when it comes to Russia, when the what's his name, Putin shows you the people in the scripture, or I see the Pope kissing the Black Mary, and then I'm saying, these are black folks. But all of a sudden, you guys push the goalposts like Jesus was not black, but they're showing you that these people were black. I'm so confused. Like, what? And then it just further shows me how much, and this is supposed to be another part of the conversation, but how much power black people have. But not even just black people, because even all around the world, who is the focus when it comes to black? Who, and I don't want to say the superior blacks, but you guys are acting like are the superior blacks, or you guys attack or appropriate. It's always who? Black Americans. So that just tells me that we are a special people, because you can't keep our fucking names out your mouths. I can promise you, and I'm going to go back to what I was saying before. I can promise you, we're not thinking about y'all. I'm going to be honest with you. I study everybody, right? Like, anthropology is my thing, so I study everybody. But you're not my main focus. My main focus is origin and my people. But I can tell you, when I think about, like, ew, I'm not thinking, yuck. I'm not like Black Americans. Or I'm not like, not Black Americans, I am a Black American, but I'm not like, or Aboriginal American. I'm not like, oh, those Brits, those Black British people, or, oh, those Nigerians, or like the diaspora war, right? Like, oh, like everybody against blacks, and then black people be feeding into that. I would not pay you dust, because I'm not worried about you. And all the black people I know are not, we don't sit up here talking about, we don't go to go watch football on Sundays, and I don't even watch football, but wherever I go, right? Nobody's talking about what the British people are doing, or what the Nigerians are doing, or what these people are doing, or what those people, the Jamaicans are doing, what the Dominicans are doing. Like, if anything, we laugh at some of you because you guys try to assimilate to whiteness. So you guys hate on us because white people hate on us. It's like Stockholm Syndrome. And then you guys swear like you're not sucking the white man off, but you are. Suck your mother. So going back to him, right? Because I talked about not trusting them, and wanted to just name my top people not to trust when it comes to them. Right, and the other two are in my country, or all of them are going to be in my country, which is going to be the next two. Fucking Elon fucking musty ass Musk. Okay, first of all, you fucking apartheid Africaneer immigrant. We want to talk about immigrants. You're not even from Africa for real. Your origin is not African. You just happen to be born there because you're a colonizer. Then you come over here, then you try to run shit over here, and they let you because you got money. And in America, capitalistic country, money talks, right? So you come over here and you talk, and I need people to understand, because people keep trying to defend this shit, and it makes me mad as fuck. This is why it makes me mad as fuck. Because you guys are selfish as fuck. You guys over here talking about, I'm only worried about, I'm voting because of my pockets. I'm voting for the economy. I'm voting to get the Mexicans out. I'm voting to get the immigrants out, right? And I'm just thinking in my head, how stupid can you be? How? Like, if we think about everything that these people stand for, it sounds like what? It sounds like Nazi Germany. It sounds like the Israel, the Revelations 2:9 and 3:9. Those are not the people. I know those people who call themselves Jews, but are not, but are from the synagogue of Satan. I know those who say they are poor, but they are not. You can take time to read my shirt. Anywho, so I'm like looking at this, right? And I'm like, you guys are saying that you're voting for your capitalistic interest, your financial interest. When is it not going to be about money for you guys? When are you guys going to say, money is the root of all evil? Money cannot buy me happiness. Money cannot buy me true freedom. Because to be free is to be free of your mind. So when you vote for somebody who has Nazi interest and ideologies and is partially German by genetics, when do you say the Holocaust did not discriminate? Well, I'm not gonna say did not discriminate. What I mean by it, I do mean that, but let me tell you what I mean by that. When you look at America, we're a melting pot. When you look at Nazi Germany, they attacked people who weren't a part of the Aryan race. If you're a part of the Aryan race means this particularly, right? So what I mean, they're not going to discriminate. You niggas are going to be on the chopping block. You Latinos on the chopping block. You Asians on the chopping block. They're not going to discriminate on who's on the chopping block because none of you guys are Aryan race people. So why are you acting like you have such privilege to not vote in your best interest because you're voting for your capitalistic interest, which you're still broke? You niggas are still broke. You're probably even broker. When I go get my food and I see in the last few in the last few months, shit done jumped $5 on food. And I'm talking about after month 10, right? He settled in, right? Even though he said on day one, because let's clock them lies. On day one, eggs was going to be cheaper, gas was going to be cheaper, all this shit going to be cheaper, right? But let's say day 256, that shit done shot up. This shit shot up well into your presidency. So that's a bunch of shit. And then he tweets some shit like, the civil rights was the worst thing that happened to white people because the civil rights it made white people victims. We were being victimized. Shut the fuck up. You're not a victim now. You wasn't a victim then. You act like people would, if you don't fucking back the fuck up, the shit that you're worried about is gonna happen. And that's why things is happening. You're seeing everybody wake up because you run your CIA operatives, and I run my CIA operatives too. And what you say is these people are upset with us. They want to kill us. No. Honestly, if you got the fuck back and just chilled and just backed off and let people live their best lives, you're not going to see what you're about to see if you don't back the fuck up and mind your fucking business. Alright? And then people always worry, like, because I got my phone right here, right? People like, oh, the privacy. You ain't got no fucking privacy. You ain't been had no privacy. They watching you through the Wi-Fi. They watching you through your cellular device. They watching you, they say through the TV. I don't know how they watching you through the TV, but they watching you through the TV. Through your Wi-Fi, they can see exactly where you at in your fucking house, what you're doing in your house. If they wanted to fucking shoot you dead with a fucking missile right now, they'd do that shit. Because it would be that easy. How you think they got Osama? Right? So, I don't be worried about the shit that I said because I said what the fuck I said. And people be holding on to this life, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Excuse me, I'm cussing like a mug right now, right? But the reason why I don't care is because I know God got me. They say death is when life starts. That's what they say, but for some of you, it's not going to be. Some of you coming right back here, or you're in hell, or wherever, whatever you believe in, but some of y'all don't believe. That's why some of y'all have no moral law, because you don't believe in anything. Sorry. Hate that for you. But I'm sorry, like I said last time, the birds and the bees all play a role, a pivotal role in society. Everything in society plays a pivotal role. The trees. You can get your medicine, your healing from the trees. You can get your fruit from the trees. The bees can give you life. The bees give life. The squids, the cuttlefish, you can extract melanin. Alright? Everything has a purpose, and you want me to believe that a Big Bang Theory created this? No, I'm sorry. I don't believe that. I don't. The fact that my brain works enough that I can create the things that I can create, and if I had the resources could create more, I understand what a creation means. Okay? So, you guys can keep letting these Nazis run your land, and then you have the Gestapos talking about we gonna come into people's houses and we gonna do this and we gonna do that, and you guys don't have a fucking clue. You guys don't want to resist. You guys want to sit back, kick back, and chill, and act like nothing's happening. You want to know what I really think? Let me turn my alarm off real quick because I know it's about to go off. You want to know what I really think? I thought I turned it on. Maybe I didn't. Oh yeah, I did. You know what I want to think? Why I think that you guys want to kick back and act like nothing's happening? Because you're scared. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. But I think why you guys are acting so oblivious is because you're scared. And you guys don't want to resist because you're scared. And that's why I respect them people over there on the right. Those, what are they called? Christian, see, when I'm thinking about it, I can't even think about it. Them white Christian nationalists. You know, I be respecting that shit. Because they act like the Muslims. They act like the people that they talk about. They willing to go down for their people. They willing to tear some shit up for their people. They willing to January 6th for their people. But God willing, God would have our backs. God wants us to resist. Look into your biblical scripture for you people who believe. When Daniel had to go, when God said smite them, the Philistines, smite them. A few people. Daniel was out there taking people out. And it wasn't just Daniel. It was a bunch of prophets. And then when God said flee, they fled. You fight or you flee. And they did both in the scripture. But you think that you're going to win something by being docile? You're not going to win shit. You're going to be right back in chains talking about, I'm not my ancestors. My ancestors burnt that mother plantation down.
And let him know that if he's not ready to clean his house up, if he's not ready to clean his house up, he shouldn't have a house. It should catch on fire and burn down.
In fact, scholars have now documented literally hundreds of rebellions that previously we didn't know about.
Slave revolts happen multiple times in U.S. history. The most famous is Nat Turner's revolt in 1831. He leads a series of attacks on white people throughout southeastern Virginia.
Dirty bastards!
In one case, they storm into a school and kill the teacher and about a dozen children.
He basically says, who do you think these children will grow up to be? These children are groomed from a young age to be masters, to be slave owners.
I got a warrior spirit. So I know every time I come on here, I'm talking like, I'm sitting like this, I'm talking like this, I'm preparing myself. Because I understand that if I just sit here like a fucking sitting duck and wait for it to be my turn, then one day it will be my turn. One day it will be your turn. But you guys can't organize. Because you guys rather fight and talk about this person or that person or Cardi B or Meg the Stallion or this person that don't matter. I don't care about none of them people. I don't know none of them people. They not doing nothing for society as far as I'm concerned. Besides entertaining you. And sometimes offering y'all a turkey on Thanksgiving and a Pokemon card on Christmas. So while you focused on them, you need to be focused on getting your big ass and you're fucking doing all this mukbangs and eating pizzas with Chipotle dishes on it. You need to get off your ass and get ready. Some of y'all talk about what y'all, I wish they would. Big as a house. You can't even run up the street. You can't even run across the street. So what makes us think that you're ready to fight? You don't know any techniques. You don't know any martial arts. You're not doing no boxing. You don't know no pressure points. You don't even know how to play chess. You don't even know how to organize. So what makes me think that you're going to be ready to fight anybody? When I see the white man in the neck of the woods, y'all think they crazy, but they going to be ready. What are you going to be? You got military friends, police cousins, and you don't ask them nothing. You better get some intel. Anywho, it's almost about time for me to go. Okay. Intelligent. Venezuela. Y'all thought I said something about Venezuela the other day. Not the other day, a few months ago. And I'm sorry that I hate to say that. I be right a lot of the time. I said something about Venezuela a few months ago. And I said it was about oil. And they was like, it's not about oil, it's about drugs. Months later, we're going to take your oil. Then I seen Rizza Islam talk about the lady president that they're appointing after taking Maduro. Well, guess what? Rizza was on point. That bitch is, and the thing is, I like to wait to. I saved his post to see how it was gonna end up turning out. But then I see Miss Mamas talking about here's my Nobel Peace Prize to somebody who does not want peace. He don't even want peace upon your people. Which told me that Rizza was right when he called that hoe a CIA agent. And then if you watch, and I want y'all to watch, if y'all haven't already watched, Lioness. Great show about CIA agents, how they infiltrate systems and they take out leaders. And that lady was a CIA. That lady is a CIA agent. Period. And if you watch The Matrix, it's full of agents. It's a lot of agents watching this right now. it's a lot of people that can be flipped into agents watching this right now. And what I mean by that is all you people who are signing up to be ICE agents for what? I see black people, Mexican people, why would you do that? And I say Mexican because we border a lot of Mexico. I'm in California. Latinos, right? But a lot of the Latinos out here always say that they're Mexican. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I see, that's why I'm saying Mexican, and we know that that's a large part of their target. Even though everybody that's Latino is Mexican, and they're not. Anywho, why would you guys vote? Why, like, what? That's like literally Stockholm Syndrome. But what I've understood is that you'll do anything for the dollar. Some of you guys are not even thinking, like, when you guys go join the army, like that, I feel like that's a person who has not made good decisions in life. That is their last destination. Why I'm not amounting to nothing. This is what I think. That people think I'm not amounting to anything. I'm just sitting here. I'm gonna go join the army. I'm tired of having a regular job, or I can't even find a regular job, or I don't want to do the shit that regular people do, so I'm gonna go join the army. I'm gonna go fight for a nation that wouldn't fucking fight for me. Alright? So with ICE, it's like, I ain't doing shit with my life. I'm gonna go join ICE. And I'm not saying that there's no benefits of joining the army. I'm not saying that. But you are now United States property. And now you are your own. We're all owned at a percent, but you are 100% owned. And then when they want to dispose of you, they'll dispose of you. If you watch Lioness, you'll also see that. If you watch any of these shows, if you watch Avatar, you'll see how these people were disposed. If you look outside and you see all the homeless vets, you'll see how they are expendable. We don't really need you when we don't need you. And when we don't need you, get the fuck on to the next one. And we don't care what happens to you, what you're doing, if you're on the streets, if you're broke, if you're poor, if you get on crack because you done fought in Vietnam, Pearl Harbor, World War II, World War III, World War I, my bad. We don't care. As long as you fight for us, and when we don't need you, we don't need you. Same thing with ICE. And ICE is going to be worse than the police. And what I mean by worse, I mean in two ways. Y'all going to get fucked up. Police be getting fucked up. Y'all really going to be getting fucked up. Because y'all don't have no type of training. And people are going to be on y'all ass like white on white. Like white on white. White on white too. Like white on rice. You think police are scared? You should be scared. No age requirements. You are literally being used, just like the Gestapo.
Going door to door and making sure that if you're an illegal alien, you've got to get out of this country, and if you want to come back, apply through the proper channel.
Where's the warrant? Where's the warrant?
The Gestapo operated with broad authority and virtually unlimited power, employing a network of informants and spies to monitor and report on suspected dissidents and political opponents. The Gestapo became infamous for its ruthless tactics that included surveillance, interrogation, torture, and imprisonment without trial. Alongside political opponents to the Nazi state, the Gestapo also targeted religious groups, intellectuals, and ethnic minorities. Consequently, it played a central role in enforcing Nazi racial policies and actively participated in the implementation of the Holocaust. The Gestapo's methods of interrogation and torture were notorious for their brutality and effectiveness in extracting information and confessions from subjects. The Gestapo was not invincible. There were surprisingly few Gestapo officials in German towns and cities, and they were often overworked and dependent on denunciations from members of the public that were not entirely credible. Meanwhile, the Gestapo also faced instances of resistance and defiance.
And when people ended up resisting against the Gestapo crumbled. But anywho, I have to leave, so maybe I'll be back. But if I'm not back, we'll have another episode soon because I got more stuff to talk about. I said I might have to come back, and I'm indeed back with the fresh mandarins that I done pulled from the citrus garden that I live in, because you know my state is a citrus garden. So wherever you live, all I gotta say is wherever you live, if you have natural sources of fruit or whatever, vegetables, herbs, whatever, I pray that you're getting them from source and not from store. I got seeds and stuff in it. How your stuff's supposed to be. Let's see. Anyhow, but I'm happy that I'm back, because at my training, I trained a little Latino boy, and it was so funny. He played basketball, right? So he's talking about how he has a game this weekend, and it's the Martin Luther King tournament. And I said, "What you know about Martin Luther King?" And he's telling me what he knows about Martin Luther King and all that, right? And then I'm like, I don't know, I ended up mentioning slavery. He was like, or slaves or something. He's like, "What's that?" So then I explained to him the history of slavery and the civil rights and why Martin Luther King was fighting for integration. And we'll talk about that really briefly, right? And then he was like, "Oh, wow." He was like, "They're weird," right? That's why they don't want to teach about slavery in schools, right? So I told him, like, black people, people of color, not black, or black people, black Aboriginal people, black people all around the world, Aboriginal people around the world, we're talking about America, right? We're turned into slaves, right? And he was like, why I say that this is I'm happy that I'm back is because he says, "Well, I'm happy I'm not black." And it made me think. I said, "Wow, that's crazy." I said, but it made me think, right? This is how the world operates. Well, as long as it ain't me, I'm just happy it ain't me. And as long as it ain't me, it's not affecting me. And that's coming from somebody who is 10 years old. That's a 10-year-old, right? So if that's the ideology of a 10-year-old, and you guys have that same ideology, that just shows me that that's human nature, that you guys don't give a fuck as long as it's not you. Then earlier I heard a guy say, talking about Venezuela, as we talked about Venezuela earlier, well, somebody's gonna take the oil. Like, why not let it be us? Somebody's gonna take it. It might as well be us, right? And all around the world, humanity. You guys call yourselves Christian, Muslims, Jews, whatever, right? I think Buddhism is like maybe, and I could be wrong, from what you see, the propaganda is really one of the only, like, really peaceful, right? There's not a lot of corruption and people hijacking the religion for their own benefits or being hypocrites, right? Or contradicting their religion, right? So I think that's pretty interesting. That a 10-year-old would say that. Then I was talking to the mom, and the mom was saying how she been seeing on the internet how black men have been saying, we don't really rock with Martin Luther King. I mean, since day one on here, I've been saying, I can't get with the integration movement. Integration was literally they weaponized integration for capitalist purposes, control, and division. Soon as y'all integrated, y'all start looking at each other like, I don't need you niggas. Oh, the black woman. Oh, the light skin this. And it's just ridiculous. Honestly. Ridiculous. Just a plantation mindset. I just see nothing but plantation mindsets all over the world. But lastly, and I know I talked about this as well, when it comes to black Americans and everybody wanted the diaspora war, right? Everybody wanted to be for black Americans. Like I said, we're not even thinking about y'all. We got our own issues. Y'all got y'all own issues. So I don't know why y'all worried about us. If anything, y'all should probably want to unite so that we can have our own routes of trade, right? Trading within within our own racial groups, right? Within our own people, seeing ourselves ascend all around the world instead of all of this division, this divisive tactics that the CIA has. And I always think that it's a bot that starts it. It's a bunch of bots, right? They get a bunch of bots or a bunch of CIA agents who are willing to infiltrate. A bunch of self-hating niggers. Excuse my language. I don't usually use that word. Self-hating Negroes tap dancing like Stephen A. Smith, right? Going against your people. Never saying shit about the white man, but always shit about the black man or the black woman. Aiden Ross. People that hang out with him, like, why would you even be hanging out with somebody that's talking about your people like that? I'll beat the dog shit out you. I'll slap fire out that motherfucker. Anywho. But instead, y'all want to beef. Y'all want to have issues with each other. Mind you, you appropriate all of our culture. And then you say we have no culture. Last time that I checked, hip-hop, us. Jazz, us. Rock and roll, us. R&B, us. Invention, us. Popularizing certain hairstyles. I'm not saying that we are the originators, right? Even though, if you really want to get technical, yes, originating certain styles, right? Or not originating certain styles, popularizing certain styles. And originating, right? Balenciaga, I don't even get with that Balenciaga shit. Like Balenciaga, all those brands, I don't get with them, right? But who's popularizing those brands? Who's the influence? And I've always said this. We got to do better because we are the influence. So if we can influence nations of people, why is it that the propaganda is always self-destruction? And we don't see that. We continue to popularize self-destruction. We got to do better. But let's not act like we ain't them ones. So when y'all get on the internet and want to talk about black Americans, stop acting like us. Stop appropriating. If you got so much to say, stop appropriating. Kai Cenat, respectfully, think that I don't watch his content, but he seems like he has good character. But to say, like, insinuate, or Burna Boy too, as well. Those two people, right? Insinuate that black Americans have no culture, but everything about you, your whole aura, your whole presentation is black American culture. That's the only way that you got people to even recognize you. So the disrespect is awfully wild because you're a Caribbean. It's Kai Cenat. American born, I believe. But all of your whole identity is black American. Burna Boy, I don't know what you got going on, but I'm not going to say you could look like an African to me, but everything about you, if you didn't have the swag that you had, Like if you want to be part of your culture, I should see you in your cultural attire. I probably never seen that. I'm not saying that you haven't done that, but your whole identity is not African. African giant. Be that African giant, like that football player that always has his cultural attire on. African giant. The fuck? Yuck! And about another thing about identity. You guys have to stop making certain shit your identity. Like MAGA people. Why is that your identity? Like, it'll be people I listen to that say, you know, I'm a realist, but then like their whole identity is MAGA. Like they literally have MAGA in their screen usernames, MAGA in their profile pictures. They are like they hard for MAGA. Why is that your identity? Find your identity, cause MAGA ain't it, baby. Shit is crazy. Gangsters, why is that your whole identity? Oh, cuz, like, you got a gangbang and, hey, where you from? And all the, like, you're talking to civilians and you're gangbanging. I seen a man sitting in his car on TikTok getting gangbanged on because he said, what's up? And what's up in LA means, where you from? Like, why is gangbanging your identity? Why is Super Crip your identity? Like, get it together. That shit is corny. You sound like a slave. That was a CIA operation. Successful. You guys been fucking self-destructing ever since. I'm happy that it's 2026 and people are starting to say gangbanging is corny as hell. Because remember, gangbang used to be very influential too. People used to live in the suburbs like, I'm from you ain't from shit. I don't care if your grandpa, your uncle, I don't even care if your daddy from the hood. Your ass ain't. Your daddy moved out the hood so you can do better. You was born down the street over there in Beverly Hills, Rancho Cucamonga, Calabasas. If you don't knock it the fuck off, goofy. Banging a hood 60 miles west. But I'm gonna sip my tea on that one. Starting to gangbang when you're 18. There's people that live in the hood that started gangbang when you're 18. If you started gangbang when you were 18, you probably were brought up in a household where both of your parents gave a fuck about you. And you decided when you got 18, man, I can't wait to break free from these shackles of my parental guidance and go gangbang. Yuck! I love that. Yuck! Anywho, that's all I gotta say, y'all. I'm about to go make some tenderism. Don't even get me on this tenderisms. I don't want to start on that. I'm about to make me some tenderisms, some plant-based tenderisms. But y'all don't support that business anymore either, because that is absolutely ludicrous. Okay? Nobody wants to see yo ass Carl, or whatever the hell his name is, Matt, or whatever y'all said, Walt. I think y'all said, no, Walt is the black guy. Whatever the other guy's name, Ken, I don't know. But nobody was going there to see you. And I heard it was a black lady who used to sing up there, an Aboriginal sister that used to sing up there, and she wasn't getting compensated. She was under the impression that she was going to get compensated. They made her pay for her food. Anyhow, bringing black people in that business. Anywho, stop being used, people. Stop being used and abused for your influence. Because you, Aboriginal, Paleolithic Americans, are the hottest things smoking. You better recognize it. Peace. Hold on. I know y'all gonna be like, why do you keep coming back? And I gotta tell you this why I keep coming back. Cause every time I stop, something keeps bringing me back. Every time I try to leave, something keeps holding me back, telling me I need you in my life. Something like that, right? But I talk about that culture, period. But anyways, when I came back, somebody just sent me this lady, right? And at the end, she said, we gotta fight. Like, white lady, right? We gotta fight. And it made me think. When I said culture, we gotta fight. Culture. You already know my people, them Black Panthers. Culture. Revolutionaries. Black culture. Revolutionaries. White people all around the world protesting. Influence. Civil rights. Talking about culture. Macaroni and cheese. Fried chicken. Culture. Louisiana. Culture. Clock that T and stop and just stop acting like we ain't got no culture. And you mentioned if you notice, I ain't mentioned none of the destructive culture, because that's part of the culture too. But you notice I didn't mention none of that. I mentioned a whole lot of things, but I ain't mentioned none of that, because we got a whole lot of culture. I don't even have that book in here no more, because it's my uncle's and I need to give it back to him. But Black people invented everything. Culture. Oh, I did forget one thing that just popped into my mind. When y'all talk about, reparations, right? You guys, we're not giving you any reparations, all right? And why do Black people want shit for free? It's a reason why it's a reason why we have not received reparations. When we talk about other people who have received reparations, right? And why Black people do not receive reparations, and you guys can't get it through your minds that it is systemically happening. For a reason, because Black people cannot ascend. Because if Black people ascend, Black people will regain power. Because if that's not the case, then why when Gaddafi offered Minister Farrakhan $1 billion for Black Americans, the government turned it down? That ain't even coming out your pockets. So why you pocket watching? That's how you know they don't want a people to ascend, because of the power that a people have. Clock that shit. And when you ask certain questions, well, why when this happened? Why did this happen? Why did they allow this to happen? Why did this happen? Why? When you ask questions, instead, see, when I debate and I don't have conversations with people, I ask questions. Because you'll find out when you ask questions, people don't have an answer. They just be yapping. Yuck. Fucking yapaholics. Okay? So I know who I am. So when I walk around and I'm like, with my head high, I know who I am. I know where I come from. I know the power that I possess. And I know where I'm going. I know where my people are headed. Everybody ain't headed to the same place, though. Because some of y'all, when it's time to fight, y'all gonna be over there with the white man because y'all think the white man is got all the power. I'm gonna be like Avatar, locking my antennas in. And y'all gonna be like, what the hell is... How the hell? That's voodoo. That's what you guys are saying. That's magic. Witch. That's when they was calling people witches. Yeah, I'm a witch, alright. I'm a witch your ass up. I'm a bruja your ass up. Anywho, I'm really gone this time because I'm really about to go eat. So I hope y'all enjoy it. You know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Please, don't forget.